Hey guys, this is dclaiche, and today I have an unboxing from eBay. So, keeping in line with the whole I want to get all the old cubes thing. So, last time I did an unboxing, it was of the full Ishin set, so that's cool. This time I decided to get, since I can't really get an Ishin 3x3, I decided to get the next best thing. In this box is an original 1980s Rubik's Cube. So that's going to be interesting. It was actually pretty cheap. It's a used Rubik's Cube. I decided not to get one that was still mint in box. I might get one later just to kind of keep in the box, but I wanted one that I could actually play with. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at what's inside this box. Alright, let's see. Come on. Here we go. And there we go. So, let's open this up. And here it is. Alright. Wow. It actually is an original Rubik's Cube. So that's cool. You've got the old logo for the Rubik's Cube. You've got the old color scheme. If I do remember correctly, the color scheme, I think... Okay. So I think that the yellow and the green are supposed to be on opposite sides from each other. But, yeah, that's... As far as I remember, that's how it was supposed to be. But yeah, it feels pretty sturdy. I don't expect it to turn all that well, being as it's it's a Rubik's Cube. But you know, these are. I'm pretty sure that the stickers are also supposed to be a whole lot better than the current or what was the later Rubik's Cube stickers. Nowadays they don't have stickers anymore; they just have tiles. But yeah, let's give this a turn and see what it's like. Alright. Okay, so it's got a really bumpy feel to it, and I have a good feeling that I know why that is. So let's see if I can take this piece out. I'm going to use this. Just kind of pop the piece out, just like... Oh, hold on. Oh man, it's a lot more difficult than it should be. Let's see. And pop the piece out. There we go. So, yes, this is what the original Rubik's Cube used to look like. I don't think that this person, I don't know anything about the person who sold me this, but it doesn't look like they did much of anything to the inside of this cube. So what I actually kind of want to do is I want to set this cube up like, you know, a good Rubik's Cube. You know, make it into kind of sort of a speed cube. I know that this can't really compete with anything, but I want to bring this up to its full potential so that I have a Rubik's Cube that I can actually use. Excuse me. As you can see, the centers are flat in the original Rubik's Cube, and the core is also, it appears to be clear. This is different from the later Rubik's Cubes. I have one in here. This was my first ever Rubik's Cube, where you can see the center is curved and the core is white. So there's that. That's one difference. Oh, also, you know, as you can see, the color scheme is different. I believe this is the Japanese color scheme. So yeah, there's that. And this is the cube that was used in the... Oh man, it's hard to get this back in there. Let's do it like this. There we go. This is the cube that was used in the 1982 Rubik's Cube competition. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So now I have an original Rubik's Cube to add to my collection. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I do think it's... I like how the difference between the red and the red and the orange. I think that's a pretty good contrast. I might switch out the colors. I might switch out the color scheme. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to do that because I kind of like the way that it looks right now. But yeah, other than that, I think this is pretty cool. Obviously, it's no speed cube, but it is an original Rubik's Cube, and those are always nice to have. There we go. Alright, so it's a couple days after I got the cube, and what I eventually ended up doing with it was I used some of the last of this stuff, this silicone spray that I used to use with all my cubes. I used some of the last of it on this cube just because I was like, I kind of want to make it turn a little bit better. And now it's kind of loose. Not gonna lie. But the interesting thing is now I can double flick. It turns, pretty good. It's no speed cube, obviously, but I don't have to use a full hand to turn each piece. One of the things that I noticed as I was playing with this over the course of the past couple days is that you really, how do I put this? With modern cubes, you tend to think about the hardware, what's made of. When you think of the cube, you think of, like, when you think of a specific type of cube, you tend to think of the hardware and what it's made of. But for this cube, people didn't do that. They didn't think of what was inside it. They didn't think of the hardware. They thought of, okay, well, it's an interesting toy that's got all these different colors, and I want to try to get them together. And it's just you. I don't know if I can exactly explain what it is that is so interesting when I think about this cube, but basically that's what I think about. I think about primarily it's a puzzle, whereas I think of this primarily as a piece of hardware that I use to win competitions or stuff. Well, not me, obviously, but that people use to win competitions. This I think of as just genuinely a puzzle. Like, I could put this next to a bunch of other different types of puzzles, like the 15 puzzle or what have you, and just this would be sort of the classic type of puzzle that people have. And you don't really think about what's on the inside. Whereas with the new cubes, you kind of do. I mean, this is MF3RS3M. You think about the fact that it has magnets. You think about the fact that the edges look slightly different from the RS2M. You think about that kind of stuff. You don't really think about it with this cube because it's not meant to be a speed cube. So yeah, that's just something that I found kind of interesting. As far as actually being able to solve it, I think that my personal best with this cube is like 14 seconds. So that's pretty interesting. And I can't really do it all that fast. There we go. As far as cutting corners, it actually decently cuts corners. Now, yeah, you would probably have to lubricate it first before. The interesting thing is you have to lubricate it before it cuts corners at all, which I find strange. You don't really think about lube causing the corner cutting to get any better, especially considering the fact that, well, typically most cubes right out of the box, corner cutting is expected to be phenomenal. And the lube doesn't really do much to help that. Really, lube just kind of changes the feel of cubes nowadays. Whereas back in the day, it actually made the cube usable. But also back in the day, people used like petroleum jelly and stuff like that. And nobody really knew anything about about the silicone sprays. But people do now, and we used to use that. I used to use that. So yeah, it's very interesting. So I think I'll just go ahead and show you like a timed solve with this cube. Don't expect it to be good, but it's interesting to play with. Also, one of the things that I noticed from like watching old competition videos is that people didn't have the same kind of finger tricks as they do now. Whereas finger tricks, they kind of look like this. They look like that nowadays. I have a heavy emphasis on like on single finger flicks. The finger tricks of back in the day didn't really have that. They were kind of like, you know, they had an emphasis on full hand turns. So you would hold two sections right here, bring it up, bring it over here, and that's kind of how you would do the RU, and maybe you would use your thumb to do a U prime or something like that. But yeah, the finger tricks looked very different. Alright, so I'm going to try to do a solve. So yeah, let's see. Alright, that was actually a pretty good solve for this cube. 16.09 seconds. So yeah, that's my unboxing and I guess kind of review of the original 1980s Rubik's Cube that I got from eBay. It definitely makes for a very nice addition to my collection, and it will be treasured for a very long time. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this video. Please come back next Wednesday for another video for you from me, and this is dclaiche saying goodbye.